These are my top 10 favorite hoop shoes of 2023. Let's get it. Now we're getting straight into it, wasting no time. At the 10 spot, we have none other than the Sabrina 1s. Now, some people may be surprised that these are hitting the 10 spot and not a little bit higher, but hear me out. These are phenomenal shoes, but this list is absolute heat. But these Sabrina 1s were hands down one of the best new signature models placed on the market and retail anywhere from $100 to $150, depending on the colorway, if you get Nike ID or not. But overall, this shoe is pretty phenomenal and draws comparisons in both looks and performance to Kobe's, which is a huge compliment to the Sabrina line. But overall, this shoe just has great traction, phenomenal cushion, again, for a good price shoe, decent materials for a lower price shoe, and just again, overall, a great shoe at the price point, which is exactly why the Sabrina 1s make it onto the 10 spot. On to the next. In the 10 spot, we have the Way of Wade, Son of Flash. Now, some people may have forgotten that these released in 2023. You might be thinking, oh, this is released in 2022, buddy. But that would be incorrect. These shoes released at the very, very beginning of 2023. And something they did is they released 3 colorways and just proceeded to not release any other colorways, which is why some of you may have forgotten about the shoe. Which is a shame because I do think this is a crazy clean silhouette and insanely unique. But yeah, if you couldn't piece it together, these are Dwayne Wade's son's signature shoe. If you couldn't piece that together by them being named the Son of Flash. But these do retail for only $125. But if you're lucky and you find them on discount, you might be able to get them around $100. But overall, I'm a big fan of these shoes. Probably my favorite part about the shoe is just the looks. The lightning bolt in the chrome is just absurd and really unique. And if you know me and you've been on my channel before, you know that I am a big fan of just super unique shoes. But aside from that, really durable and grippy traction setup with their super durable rubber. Absolutely phenomenal boom cushioning setup and a nice just textile upper to finish it out. So in my opinion, probably one of the best outdoor hooping shoes you can get, and just a great option for indoor hooping shoes on top of that. And piggybacking on that, if you guys want a best outdoor hoop shoes of 2023, let me know if you want that list down below in the comments. And who knows, maybe I'll release that in the next week or two. What's up, my brother? Yeah, if you want these Way of Wades or any other Way of Wades, first link in the description. If you buy a pair of Way of Wades from there, I might make a little bit of dough. But I want to clarify, I am not allowing my possible commission to skew my opinions. So I'm not corrupt. And in the 8th spot, we have the Rigorer.
No, I did not say the N-word.
In the 8th spot, we have the Rigorer AR1s. Now, if you couldn't piece that together, the AR1s are Austin Reeves' first signature shoe, and in my opinion, one of, if not the very best first signature shoe of 2023. And at first, I was a little skeptical because, like a lot of you, I looked at the brand Rigorer and I was like, never heard of you before. But then through snagging them at SneakerCon LA and putting them through some use, I was pleasantly surprised with how amazing this shoe is. Overall, looks are really heat on this shoe, especially this colorway. Some of the other colorways are kind of doo-doo crack. But this colorway is really fire. The silhouette in itself is very unique. It's got like this little bubbles right here. These 2 TPU units, just crazy unique. And like I mentioned earlier, if you know me, I like my unique shoes. And on top of this, if you get these shoes for retail, they only go for $100, which in today's economy is an insane deal for basketball shoes. But and then price and looks aside, the performance on the shoe is also phenomenal. Just amazing traction, great cushion for the price, and then just overall probably one of, if not the very best hoop shoe at its price point that came out in 2023. So if you guys want a best budget hoop shoes of 2023, let me know if you want that list. But other than that,
on to the next.
In the 7th spot, we have none other than number 6. In other words, we have the Lapuki 21s. We have the LeBron 21s is what I meant to say. Now, traditionally, I am not a LeBron guy. Most LeBrons are rather big, clunky, kind of heavy, and meant more for forward/centers or dudes with a lot of poundage on them. And with me being the fit, lean specimen that I am, I wasn't really fit for that playstyle in this type of shoe. Therefore, I just never really got into LeBrons. But with the 20s, they kind of veered away from that forward playstyle type of shoe and started making guard-like shoes. And let me tell you, they continued that with the 21, and the LeBron 21s are just a phenomenal shoe. In my opinion, the highlight of the shoe is the cushion setup. Hands down, one of, if not the best cushion setup of 2023. If I had to describe it to you, I would say felt like pillows on my feet. Just felt bouncy, comfortable, and let me stop glazing and just sprinkle it on the tip. But on top of this, just the very high quality upper materials, great traction, and overall just phenomenal shoe. But let's be honest here, that is to be expected when you're spending $200 on a pair of basketball shoes. So yeah, a little steep, but you're getting a good amount of stuff for $200. So
On to the next.
in the 6th spot, we have the KD16s. Now in the previous model, the KD15, I was kind of disappointed in the performance of the shoe, but with the newest addition to the line, the KD16s, let me tell you, they stepped their game right back up. One of my favorite parts about the KD16s is the crazy TPU setup. It adds an insane amount of support both laterally and horizontally, adding that extra bit of bounce to your step. But on top of this, again, just amazing traction, great cushion, love it on this. And then just a really high quality and unique upper. Overall, just great shoe and very deserving of the number 6 spot of the best hoop shoes of 2023. And side note, these do go for around $130 to $180 depending on the colorway and if you get them Nike ID'd or not, which my recommendation would be to get them Nike ID'd because that's really unique and cool.
On to the next.
In the 5 spot, we have a hoop shoe that's been compared to a modern Kobe 8 by many of people. And that shoe is the Way of Wade 808-3. At only $120, these shoes are probably the best performer at its price point in 2023. And I am telling you, people are comparing these shoes to Kobe's for a reason. These shoes just have insane traction, bouncy cushion setup, beautiful TPU setup, both horizontally and vertically. Beautiful looks. I mean, look at that shoe. And again, they only go for $120, which if I'm being honest, makes me feel happy because I know some people can't go out and spend $150, $200 on shoes. So to have such a phenomenal option at only $120, shout out to Way of Wade for that, man. And again, if you want any Way of Wades, this did not play any part of my list, but if you want any of the Way of Wades, like these or the other Way of Wades in the list, first link in the description. Feel free if you want to snag some. Just trying to help y'all out. But I would make a little bit of dough.
On to the next.
In the 4th spot, we have the Way of Wade 808-3 Ultra. Now, before you comment,
Oh my god, he's such an idiot. He just put the same hoop shoe in spots 4 and 5. But he does look really cute with that mustache, though.
this is essentially the upgraded version of the Way of Wade 808-3, hence the Ultra. While the original 808-3s retail for only $120, like I mentioned about 8 times, the Ultra goes for a whopping $160. With the extra $40, you will still get that Kobe-like shoe with insane traction, a bouncy cushion setup, beautiful TPU setup, both horizontally and vertically.
Beautiful looks.
But you do get a slight upgrade in the cushion, materials, and in my opinion, the looks department. Overall, literally just an upgraded version of the previous shoe. Everything I mentioned, put that on steroids. Love it, love it, love it. In my opinion, kind of reminds me of the original GT Cut ones. Yeah, those shoes. But that little fun fact means absolutely nothing. So love them, deserving of the number 4 spot. Again, link in description if you want any of these Way of Wades.
So me.
On to the next.
In the 3 spot, we have the Way of Wade All City 11 / All City 11 V2. Now hear me out. While these two hoop shoes are different hoop shoes technically, they kind of aren't. The V2s are literally just an upgraded version of the original All City 11s, and they both retail for $150. These just released a few months later, and they just kind of like revamp it a little bit. But overall, very, very similar shoes, just kind of like a different upper. They literally share the same sole, so.
So me.
But the All City 11 / All City 11 V2s, I'm just going to call them the All City 11s, were hands down one of my favorite performing hoop shoes of 2023 for a multitude of reasons. Firstly, this is one of the only hoop shoes on the market that actually doesn't crowd your forefoot. They have a rather wide shape in the toe box that gives you a little extra space, a little extra breathing room, which if you didn't know is really, really important if you didn't want your toes to look like that. Additionally, just great traction, great cushion, really nice upper, especially in the V2s. Phenomenal looks, especially in the V2s. Great stability due to that wide forefoot, and then just overall phenomenal shoe. Once again, if you want Way of Wades, the link is in the description.
So me.
But on to the next. In the 2 spot, we have the 7th signature shoe from my facial hair friend all the way in LA. In other words, we have the Harden Volume 7. While these are probably one of the heavier shoes on this list today, let me tell you, this weight means nothing with how good this hoop shoe is. Firstly, the thing I love about this shoe, the looks. The looks on this shoe is simply one of a kind. Like I mentioned earlier, I am just an absolute for unique looking hoop shoes, and with that like puffer jacket type deal, this definitely fits that unique category. On top of that, the colors, shout out to dude for getting me these. But then performance wise, one of the best performers of the year, which is why it's in the number 2 spot. One of the best cushion setups of the year, insane traction, insane bounce, insane lockdown with that puffer jacket type upper, really premium materials. And overall, no complaints other than the fact that the toe box is like a different material that gets dirty easily. But other than that, love it. Perfect hoop shoe. So easily the number 2 best hoop shoe of the year. Almost made it number 1, but it didn't. On to the next.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
Now, before we get into our number 1 hoop shoe of 2023, I want to take a brief second to mention our honorable mentions of the 2023 that didn't make this list and why they didn't make this list. Now, the first few hoop shoes that I want to mention are the All City 12s, New Balance 2-Way V4s, and the Way of Wade Shadow 5s. Now, all these hoop shoes are great. Hold up, let me take a sip of my tea that my mom made me. Love you, Mom.
Oh, that's buzzing.
But yeah, these shoes are great, but unfortunately, I didn't get to use them enough to really pump out a review on them or get a really, really solid opinion. So these probably would have made the list if I was able to hoop in them more. But due to lack of use, these did not get consideration into the list. But some shoes that almost made it onto the list and that are just outside were the JT1s, Shockwave 5s, and to Shockwave 5s to be exact, and the Nike GT Cut 2s. These were also great performers of the year, but were just outside of the list when it came to making those final cuts. And then one shoe that I do want to briefly mention that I hated from this year that a lot of people actually liked were the Ja 1s. Was not a fan, so those didn't even come close to making the list. So without further ado, let's reveal number 1. In the number 1 spot, we have the shoe that I not only consider the best performing hoop shoe of 2023, but probably the best performing hoop shoe I've ever used. And that shoe is the Way of Wade 10. Now, if you've watched my content before, you could have probably pieced together that the Way of Wade 10 would be number 1 on the list, because I am notorious for glazing this shoe. Glazing it so much that I not only have one pair, but 2 pairs, 3 pairs, and yes, even 4 pairs. But let me throw these to the side and yap a little bit about my favorite shoe from 2023. Now, my favorite shoe is, unfortunately, a whopping $200.
200 doubloons.
Which is a little steep, but let me tell you, worth every single penny. Firstly, something I love about this shoe is that TPU setup, that full-length carbon fiber, super bouncy. I don't want to glaze or make any false claims, but when I wear them, I swear I think it adds like an inch or two to my vertical. Sue me! On top of this, just phenomenal cushioning setup. Feels like pillows on your feet. Traction that just never slips. And I'm telling you, this shoe just simply has it all. Which is exactly why it is in the #1 spot. And then on top of this, something I didn't even have to mention. The phenomenal looks. I mean, are you looking at this? Are you looking at this? Futuristic, pink.
Pink.
Better than the Aunt Pearls in my opinion. Any Aunt Pearl of all time. Better than that. But yeah, best hoop shoe of 2023. So bang, man, that's it. My official list of the best hoop shoes of 2023. Like I said, any Way of Wade's, link in the description if you want them. Let me know how you feel about this list. And let me know if there are any other lists you guys want to see from me for that 2023 recap. Maybe like best budget shoes of 2023, or best guard shoes, best forward shoes, best center shoes, best shoes from each brand. Let me know how you guys feel about those ideas or any other lists you want to see from me. And your boy will pump them out because I will be reading all of these comments. But I appreciate y'all for watching this far. If you could like, comment, subscribe, I would appreciate it immensely. Best hoop shoe of 2023. I'll see y'all in the next video. Ah!